Hey lovelies, I'm the Doodle Pixie. I design SVGs and I also supply craft and blanks, glitters, UV DTFs, all that fun stuff. So while I'm giving this acrylic snow globe a little rub down with some alcohol, let me tell you what we're making. Today it's a Peekaboo snow globe with a glitter burnish twist. So yeah, it's basically everything fun in one cup. I've already cut the SVG that I'm going to use for this. This one's just a simple outline and backing shapes to fill the space. So I've cut out the backing shapes here and I'm just applying them randomly, making a pattern to fill the space. Don't worry about what vinyl you use here. I've used just a normal Teckwrap vinyl sheet. This is going to be getting pulled up later. Now I'm going in with a really fine sandpaper. I'm going to sand the whole tumbler. You don't need to be perfect here, but you do need to be quite thorough and just make sure that you get really close to the vinyl. You can go over the vinyl. It's not a huge issue because you'll be peeling that up later anyway, but just make sure you do cover and rough up the whole of the cup and the lid if you're doing that as well. The better your sanding is here, then the better the glue that we're going to do in the next step will take to it. I'll just use a microfiber cloth here just to remove any dust. Now I'm brushing on my first layer of glue, just a nice even coat, not too thick, not too thin. I'll leave it for about 5 minutes until it goes tacky before I add the glitter. Time for the first coat of glitter. I'm using 2 of my own holographics that I stock on the website. You can use chunky or fine, a mix of both, whatever works for you. I'm using fine here, so just pour it on gently, let it grab onto that glue and don't worry too much about the blend being perfect. Just now, we'll deal with that later on in the burnishing stage. Just give it a good tap off and then let it sit for 20 or 30 minutes to fully set, and don't forget your lid. I really just want this tumbler to have a cohesive look from top to bottom, so I want the lid to look as if it's part of it. Okay, now we're ready to burnish. This is the most fun that you can have with glitter ever. So I'm just using my fingers, I'm pressing firmly to rub the glitter in. I'm going round in circles, I'm doing strokes. It just helps it smooth it all out and gets rid of any sort of rough bits of the glue. We're going in with our second coat of glue, and this time taking a little bit more care to make sure the strokes are even and smooth. We don't want any lumpy bumpy bits for this, and again I will leave that sitting for about 5 minutes. Now we're ready to go in with our second coat of glitter. So again, we don't need to worry about the seam too much here, the join, because we will be blending the join in when in the burnishing stage. So we're just making sure we do a couple of passovers, making sure we're nice and fully coated and not forgetting the lid as well. I will leave this now to set for about 20 minutes. And it's now time for our second burnish. So I'm starting off in the sand area and we're going to just make sure that we don't cross-contaminate the glitters on this part. So I'll be using a separate glove for the C part. We're using firm, really nice firm pressure. We're going round in circles, we're doing long strokes, we're just really rubbing that glitter in, and then when it comes to the middle, the join, we are going round and round in tiny little circles to try and get as much of a blend as possible. And you'll see that the glitter is pretty much transformed. It's an absolutely stunning effect. We brush it all down and we do the exact same with the lid, and that's our cup fully burnished. It's time to take a sharp pair of tweezers or whatever else you use and peel off that vinyl backing. So I'm using tweezers, I'm going really slowly. This part needs a bit of patience. If anything doesn't lift cleanly, don't force it. You can always come back to any stubborn bits later rather than risk taking off too much too soon. So just take your time and work carefully around the curves, and you can really start to see the peekaboo taking shape at this point. You can make these pieces as detailed or as simple as you want. Obviously I wanted to see a lot of the sand in the sea, so I've kept it quite minimal, but I think it's quite stunning. And now we're going in with just a gloss varnish, basically what you would use to seal clay pieces and that kind of thing. So we're just making sure it's fully coated. Don't worry too much if you go into the peekaboo area. We are going to clean that up in a little bit, but it's really important to seal it because we need to have a nice even texture for the vinyl to stick on top of. So just making sure it's completely coated, and then with the one I use, I leave it to dry for about 20 minutes. I'm just using a Q-tip with some alcohol, and I'm going round and I'm rubbing off any varnish residue, any residue from the actual vinyl itself, and it just makes it nice and clean. And I'm making sure I do a coat of varnish on the lid as well. And once all that's done, we're ready to move on to another fun part. So the main part of the Dural Pixie is SVG designs. It's literally the core of what I do. I think you'll find about 1,200 designs on the website. So basically, using transfer tape, I'm picking up all the outlined pieces, and then I'm just going to place them over the top of each of the peekaboo areas. It gives it a really nice 3D effect when you're looking through. Once we've filled inside the cup, you'll see what I mean. But we're just taking our time and placing each of those, and because we've done that varnish layer, the vinyl is sticking to it really, really nicely. Already at this stage, I absolutely love the effect. I mean, you could play about with different coloured vinyls, whatever you did with your design, but I just love the effect at this point. Now I'm going to use my glitter guider, and I'm going to pop in about 1.5 inches of pre-washed silica sand, and I'm using the massage gun just to help get that into place. Now we're going to just make up a solution of mica and distilled water for the inside of the cup. You could use glitter and Snowglobe solution. I've opted for mica because I want the swirl effect to the ocean inside the double walls. Fill it up and finish it off with a stopper. I will put some UV resin on the bottom to seal it off and just finish it off nicely, and I will add a coat of triple thick glaze over the whole cup just to finish it off nicely. If you like what you've seen, please do subscribe, leave a comment if there's any questions, and please do follow me. Thank you guys.